Yeah, just pull that over. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sutton Sanctuary Podcast. My boy, Braden Fitzjerrells. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, good. It, you know, the whole world works in weird ways. Just two guys from Southern Illinois
Yeah, man.
coming together all these years later. Here we are.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, originally from Woodlawn, which is crazy. Not that far from where I grew up at.
Yep.
How was that growing up over in Woodlawn?
I mean, it was good. I mean, it was small town.
Yeah.
And then, as I progressed through like 5th through 8th grade, I kind of wanted to go to a bigger school.
Yeah. You
So,
pull that over just a little bit.
I moved to
That thing turns to
Mount Vernon High School.
You can tilt that
And, oh, I got you.
too. Yeah.
But yeah, I moved to Mount Vernon High School, just kind of for academics and athletics.
Yeah.
Just kind of wanted to be in a bigger space.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you ended up playing you play ball over here at USI?
yep.
Is that right?
Yep. So I played, I went to Lindenwood and then transferred there. Coach got fired and stuff. So then I played a year at JUCO and then I went to USI.
I gotcha.
Yep.
How'd you like it over there?
I just loved it. I mean, USI, like,
It was still Division II.
yep.
At that time?
My senior
Was
year
that
was
right?
the last year, Division II. Yep. So I was on the Final Four team. I was hurt, unfortunately, but at least got to
Damn.
experience it with all those guys. So
What happened?
ankle surgery. Yeah.
Dang.
So
Did you broke it and then had to have surgery?
I
or,
broke
like, you
it
just
in
had-
the postseason at junior college, and then
Oh.
kept playing on it because we were in the postseason,
Right.
and I destroyed my cartilage and I had to have surgery, and then I think I just came back too quick from the first surgery,
Yeah.
so then I had to take a whole year off.
What would I don't think that first time that we spoke, like I said, it was crazy. Just I think I came across I think your profile came up on Facebook like months ago at one point in time. And then it was like after I had like started to run a little bit, like your profile popped up again and I saw that you had ran Boston. And I was like, this dude looks so familiar and I cannot put my finger on it, dude. I looked at your profile and I couldn't find anything that stuck out. I was like, I don't know why. I feel like I know this guy. And then yeah, I don't know. It hit me one day. I ended up looking and I was like, I don't know. Like, let's see if I can find out where he's from. And I saw you from over in Illinois. And then it all hit me. I was like, dude, I used to play basketball against him. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I think we played against each other. It was like the Wayne City tournament.
Mhm.
We were like maybe, was that like a 5th and 6th grade tournament? Maybe
I think
like
though, yeah,
way back.
Yeah.
Like the very beginning.
I remember
dude.
playing there. Yeah,
And yeah, that little bitty crazy gym. If you shot it too high, it hit the ceiling.
yeah.
Like-
That's kind of how all those small school
Like-
gyms were.
What was that? Yeah, was that how it was in Waltonville too?
Yeah. I mean, I think their ceilings were high, but I mean, yeah, you got maybe 4 to 6 bleacher rows, and then that's it. you know,
Yeah.
just down the court. So
North City's junior high, which you probably never went over there, but it's fairly new. And it was like obviously it was newer however many years ago. I think it was I don't know. It was only probably like 8 years old whenever I started playing ball. So it was pretty new. And it had a nice gym. I was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
For North City being as small as it was, I lucked out on like 2 pretty nice gyms for junior high and high school. So what was that like? Because Mount Vernon, Illinois, they played. Who old are you guys? You guys played like.
in
Did
this-
you go over to the like East St. like St. Louis, play all those metro schools and?
we were in the South 7, so our conference was Carbondale, Illinois, Marion, Illinois. I'm saying Illinois, but
Right.
Carbondale, Marion, Centralia,
Yeah.
Cahokia, which is near St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting. Oh, and Althoff. That's in Belleville. So they're private Catholic school in our conference.
Oh, dude.
And they were
The
loaded.
controversy
Dude, they were-
with Belleville Althoff the last couple of years has been gnarly.
They were loaded. I mean, my junior and senior year, we lost to them both in the postseason. And I mean, there's 3 guys playing and who have played in the league or overseas.
Yeah.
3 guys who played college football. So they were full of athletes. It was crazy.
Yeah, they had a lot of controversy. What was it? Was it 2 years ago? Did they win it all? Maybe. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, they won my senior year. Yeah, my senior year.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people. I didn't fully understand because we never had to worry about like playing private schools. So I didn't understand the whole the way that I could reclassify.
hmm
How does that work? Do you know?
I don't know like the full details, but it's something like if they don't make the postseason or if they don't like win a regional in so many years, and they can like go down a class. And so like they were 3A, and then um, if they would have like not won for however many years it is, they could go down to 2A. So then they're playing
Mm,
schools like Oakville, Carterville, and like no
yeah,
offense to those schools, but like I mean when you
yeah.
can
It's not the
recruit and all that,
same,
no. And Althoff is a small school, so but they can
but they
bring kids
can.
in.
Yeah.
Two of my AAU teammates played on Althoff, so I mean they got to just go over there, and um,
Dang.
they were a good team, dude. I mean, I would have loved to see them play the rights team that my USI guys played
Mm,
on, like the famous
yeah,
Evansville
that
rights
was
team.
dude, that's so
Stein,
crazy that you're bringing this up.
Stein, Nate Hansen, Jacob Norman, Mario Barnes, Drew Smith.
I literally
Yeah.
just come across Alex Stein
Yep.
on Facebook the other day because you guys are mutual friends, and I saw that he was a hooper.
hmm Yeah, he's the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, like a
Yep.
for real hooper. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dude's a
that's
dog.
that's crazy that yeah, you're bringing that up right now. I didn't realize. Yeah, you guys played together.
hmm
Yeah,
We
that's.
lived together.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Yeah. So he
Yeah,
was.
he was one of my best friends, and
Did,
I considered him like a role model. I mean,
yeah.
I always took pride in like trying to be the hardest worker in the room, but I don't think I could outwork that guy. If I'm being honest
Yeah.
with you,
He was like that, huh?
he's just different, man. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, whatever he wanted, he went and got it. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's whenever people say like there's levels of this shit,
yeah,
that's like a
yeah,
very real like
yeah. I mean,
there
he's overlooked, all-time leading scorer,
yeah.
played in the G League. And, now he was overseas, super
Hmm.
successful.
So he's had a little
He
injury.
just tore his ACL,
Yeah.
but I mean, I have no concern. He'll
Yeah.
rehab and do all
Still
the right
just
things.
one of them guys.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get over there and watch any of that Rights team last year?
No, I haven't been to
Jalen
any
Mitchell.
local. No, I haven't been to any local games, unfortunately. But
Have you heard of him?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He's nice.
yeah. He played
Yeah.
my little cousin whenever they were playing in state in eighth grade. So when he was an eighth grader.
Yeah. He just ended up going over to Spire
Yep.
where LaMelo and all them boys played. I watched LaMelo play whenever he was playing for Spire down at McCracken County.
Yeah.
There's a viral clip of LaMelo. He like gets on a fast break in high school and he dunks it and he turns around and daps that kid up in the fans. And it's like it's been all over the internet. And I was there. I watched that live whenever he did that.
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest in-game person I ever saw as far as like high school level talent.
Right. Right.
Which that's not high school level talent, but for that age, I've never witnessed anything
Yeah.
just so. Dude, this the way those guys walk down the court is different. Like it's just
One of my starstruck experiences was like, so after my freshman year, I got invited to play on this St. Louis Eagles team, and it's Bradley Beal Elite now, but I made the team, and the 15s and 16s practiced a lot together, and Jason Tatum's my class.
yeah,
So he didn't practice with us much. He practiced with the 16s, but when we'd be in the same gym, I mean, I didn't know who Jason Tatum was at that time, but after, that year of season when he's getting all these offers and you
Yeah.
got Coach K sitting
yeah.
courtside at the games, you're just like, dude, like,
What is going on?
yeah, I'm around somebody. She's getting
Yeah,
recruited by dude.
something's going on.
So that was probably a life-changing experience playing on that team. But yeah, I mean, ate dinner with Bradley Beal and an Applebee's, and it was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. That's your Jalen Mitchell. That was the team. They just won the Peach Jam.
Yep.
This
Yep.
last year.
Yep.
Yeah,
All those
that's cool.
coaches there are awesome too. Great people.
Yeah,
I think they're the reason that I decided to choose basketball.
really.
Just
Why would you say that?
dude, they're just a bunch of short guys that they're like, look, if you want it, it's got to be this way.
Yeah,
And I don't know. There was just something about it. I feel like it changed my life where it just instilled like, okay, yeah, no one, really thinks short people can play basketball anymore. And I was like, I'm gonna go do it.
yeah.
One of the coaches played at Georgia
Mm,
back in the day,
Yeah.
so I'm like, all right, let's just try this.
yeah. Do you think You think like being shorter in that aspect because of basketball like shaped who you are as a human being overall? Did that like carry into
Yeah,
your life as like a
yeah. I think that I mean it's definitely played a role. I think that
not like you being short, but I just mean like that mindset that was created where you were like, okay, I
yeah,
got to work a little harder to that just like
yeah.
flow over into just other stuff.
Yeah, I think that I had to not just be good, but like be great and be
Mm,
consistent. And I had to do the little things right because there's things I had to make up for. I don't have a long reach,
sure.
or I'm not someone that's going to block a lot of shots. But I knew things that I could excel in, which was being much faster than everyone, being in much better shape. Um, People who watched me play, like I picked up full court the whole game, and
Mm-hmm.
that was just how we played. And I just wore people out. And yeah, we may compete in the first half or whatever, but I know like when that third and fourth quarter came, like I
Yeah.
put the work in to be in shape because
Right.
that's whenever it made a
Sure.
difference.
Yeah.
But there was things that I couldn't do just because I was short, and you just kind of had to figure out how you could be successful and still make an impact, and not
Mm-hmm.
be too much of a detriment for your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Not being a detriment to your team is um something some people need to figure out.
Yeah.
That's yeah, some people and just by trying to be outside of themselves really. And I don't know if that's like an insecure thing or like people that just don't haven't just figured out their role. And maybe even in life you see that with people that
Hmm.
normally, like I said before, people that typically have it pretty bad in life probably did something to put themselves in that situation. They were probably a detriment to their own life
Hmm.
at some point.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, after so what did I guess I never asked. I was wanting to get into what you're getting ready to be opening up. Which dude, I'm so pumped. I cannot wait
Me
to
too,
get in
man.
there. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Um, every time we drive, like go to Walmart, dude, and drive by it, I'm always like, I was telling him like, have you seen it? Did you check it out? I'm like, it's gonna be sick.
Yep.
Like you just wait.
Yep.
But whenever you graduated USI, what did you do for your
So I
full
studied
time job
exercise
now?
science, kinesiology. I got a strength conditioning minor. I actually stayed part time on the strength conditioning staff at USI.
Mm,
My like extra semester I went, um, and I was able to work with the men's and women's basketball team, and then the men's baseball team.
yeah.
And I probably would have stayed. They were just making that transition to Division One, and they didn't open up an assistant strength coach position. So it was like I could stay part time or figure something else out. So I was like, okay, let's go do something in the hospital system, and I'll maybe figure some strength conditioning stuff out later.
Yeah.
Got in the hospital system, networked my way. I'm working for Abbott now. I have a week left, but it's with pacemakers and defibrillators.
Oh, okay.
So nothing that you really had to go to like grad school for or anything, but there definitely was extensive training. And my undergrad definitely played a role in getting that job.
Sure. So the pacemakers and stuff. What does
We're
Abbott do?
we're in procedures and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we assist. We test out the leads and pacemakers and all that.
Gotcha.
And then we can get called into like if a patient has a pacemaker and they go to the hospital. Some doctors may want the pacemaker interrogated, so we'd get called in to check it and
Mm,
just
you're
see
just
if
the
it
owner's manual
kind of in a
of the
way. Yeah.
pacemakers, right? When they're trying to figure out what's going on instead of
Yeah.
flipping through the pages, you get called.
Yep. Yep. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I
We
got
we
you.
provide those answers.
Yeah,
To,
I got you.
it was a fun job, but I mean, at the end of the day, like this whole one-step training thing started. I've been doing it online for a couple of years, and people have just paid for online programming. But I recently got engaged last December, and I renovated the garage because I had to take care of her when she was sick this
Mm,
summer. And some people were like, "Hey, can I come train in person?" And then a couple people turned into Overton, and then it kind of got to the point where I was like, "Man, I'm like really enjoying this." Um, and then just through some life things, I kind of hit a point where I was like, "Man, I don't know if I want to do this medical job anymore. It just kind of isn't for me."
yeah,
So I actually put in my notice without a real plan, um, just because I needed to at least make that decision.
sure.
And I was like, worst case, I'll just train out of my garage and I'll be available all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, man, God took the reins, and I'm gonna be opening a building in December. And
Let's go.
I mean, if you would ask me, all right, here's X amount of dollars to build, it would be exactly what this building is.
Yeah.
And more. I mean, it's literally perfect.
Oh yeah, dude. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so sick. I can't wait to get in there. Yeah, whenever you first started up with the training and stuff, like, because it's always kind of interesting to see, like, right now I'm kind of in this like running phase, and everyone seems to like have their phases that they go through of like whether it's CrossFit and then bodybuilding and then strongman, and then we're like, whenever you were opening up your training, was it always just, have you always been into the, because I know like you're doing like some training now for High Rocks, and like, has that always been your like style of training? Have you always been into that sort of more, I don't know, like functional, more like,
I would say like functional fitness has kind of always been the training throughout like my whole life. What kind of started my love for this though was in 5th grade. I was playing on a Mount Vernon football team, and there's a guy who like I consider a mentor and big brother, but he owned basically a building just like I'm about to move into, and dude was drafted in the MLB, came home in the winter, got in a sledding accident, paralyzed from the waist down. He was in a wheelchair, and he was training. He had a successful training business.
Yeah.
Awesome person. I mean, like having 100+ people show up just to train just because you're that kind of person, like that's how great of a person he was. And he was all about the functional fitness. And, I saw from an early age, 4th, 5th grade, all the way through high school, dude, that helped me so much.
Yeah.
Just being able to be agile, strong, in shape. I didn't really get into any of the bodybuilding or heavy lifting, but I was always kind of just fit and strong.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, well, they definitely go hand in hand. Excuse me. That now that I've been switching up my style of training and kind of getting away from because I was just pretty much strictly like bodybuilding and just wanted to look good, and that was really all I cared about. And then I don't know, I guess I just like started to get older and realized like the bodybuilding training, dude, I was aching, and like I may have had a decent physique, but I didn't really feel very good. And I just remember, like, I always think back, I guess I kind of like a whole mindset change of just, we should be getting better over time. Like, that should be the whole, over the course of your life, it should just be like a continuous path, like continuously just getting better. And I felt like whenever I was just weight training, and then I'm thinking about like myself as a person, how like physically fit, what's my like athletic abilities. And I'm like, dude, kind of like, who would I pick in a fight, like 16-year-old me or this version of me? Like, which one, And then I started to realize, I'm like, man, like that athletic, like the athlete that I was at a younger age, I was like, I'm picking that guy over who I am right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get a little, like, something, I got to get some more edge, like something else, just like these weight training sessions. And I'm not like knocking bodybuilding. Like, I still like to get in the gym, but it's just like, I don't know. I think we're like, we can do so much more than just like move some weight around.
Oh yeah.
And like,
I mean, I think there's always a good mix of everything. I mean, they always say like everything in moderation.
Right.
But how I kind of train is, I may have like a leg strength day or like an upper body strength day, but the other 2 or 3 times I'm lifting, it's circuit training, HIIT training. With this high rock stuff, there's a lot of running intervals added into it, and I don't think that people understand how much like the functional fitness side of things can translate to just overall well-being and feeling better in the results versus like you said, going to like a Planet Fitness or something. You do a set on machine or dumbbells, and then you kind of sit there and you may mess on your phone for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Where like how I structure things with, my kids that I work out or even my adults is like, hey, we're going to the next thing. There's some rest, but like we're getting to work in
Yeah.
50 minutes. Like,
Right. Yeah, we're not gonna be here for two
no,
hours.
no. And there's no phone time. Like, you're here to get to work, and if you're there to get better and to push yourself.
Yeah.
And I think so far everyone's kind of enjoyed that because yes, the training style is different.
Hmm.
You know, you can't go get that at a Planet Fitness or, you know, anything similar because there's a lot of people in there. Whereas, you know, in my garage or in this new space with classes, you know, it's going to be set up to where everything logistically can move smoothly and you get your work in.
Yeah. Do you think CrossFit, like, because I never did CrossFit, but you know, it was just like the running joke of like CrossFit. I don't know because it's look hard as shit. Okay, like let's not act like with the stuff they're doing is just like easy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you know, CrossFit was just like like a joke of like like whether or not like the form was bad, you know,
Yeah.
and it was always like whether, you know, you had the like weight trainers or CrossFitters, and that was always like the online thing
Yeah.
that was always, and like I wonder if like that just like whole kind of persona around that the internet sort of just generated and created like
I
has
think
kept
so.
people away from like a functional style of training for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I think like there's some good things to CrossFit. I think a lot of people get a bad taste in their mouth with CrossFit because there's some heavy, highly skilled movements in there like overhead snatch and other
Yeah.
things. And like those are great and you know, it's no knock on CrossFit or anything, but to snatch 225 above your head, you know, the risk versus reward, it's probably
Right.
more risk than reward.
Yeah.
There's other things you can do to be more functional,
Yeah.
and with way less risk of injury because, like, I mean, you can only train if you're healthy, if you're whole.
Right.
And I think High Rocks, like, why it's taking over is High Rocks kind of takes out the skill of those advanced movements. Like, trust me, you got to be skilled and in shape, but all those movements are pretty basic. There's no, you know, 225 overhead snatch or
Yeah.
like, you know, a 250 hang clean. Like there's none of that.
Right.
It's mostly body weight. If anything, it's 50 pounds added to your body.
I'm beginning to wonder if unless you're going to compete in a strongman competition or unless you're going to get on stage, I really do wonder if like some of these styles of training are really actually worth it. You know, like I said, that's what I've kind of like just getting more into the running. It's just and not even saying that people have to go like run crazy distances, but it's just the fact that it's like so neglected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not even like I think that people should be running 5-10 miles a day or anything, you know, but it's just the fact that it's like no one does it. And that kind of like blows my mind. I think just because I didn't realize like the mental edge that I was missing,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is rich to talk about considering what happened yesterday. But like I can just tell, I thought I was like pretty mentally tough just in the shape that I was in, my style of training, all that stuff. And then I started getting into like long distance training, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I wasn't. Like
Yeah.
this is, it's not like a knock on people that don't do it or aren't interested. I just hate it because it's like I see the value of like what it's provided to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that's in it for everyone that wants to try to partake in it.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a knock. It's just like, no, dude, I kind of think you would just really be better, and I think you would like it,
Yeah.
like for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I got into running, and my dad ran track in college, and he wanted me to run track, and I hated track. And then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now I run marathons and do all
Right.
that. So it's like, why did I hate running as a kid? I don't know. But like you said, what made me fall in love with it, or I think what gives people that itch is you're alone with your thoughts, and it's you versus you. Like you're not racing anyone. Even in a marathon, like I have kids ask me like, what place you get? And I'm like, oh buddy, I was in the thousands.
Right.
And then they're just like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, but really,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm like, like it really, I said, just crossing the finish line, no
Yeah.
matter what place you're in, is an accomplishment itself because, it's small percentage of the world people run marathons and your time does not matter. And people get caught up in pace and medals and whatever, but like if you can just show up and just be consistent and run,
Yeah.
or even just train, like it can set you so far ahead, versus being like, I just hate running, or I hate this kind of lifting, and like that's kind of your like excuse.
Yeah.
If they step out of their comfort zone a little bit and just give it a couple weeks, I bet they would like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always those first couple of weeks. And I think people, they just like start out too hard.
Yeah.
And then you're like super sore and you
Yep.
can't move for a
Hmm.
week. And um, you just come to the conclusion that it's not for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, Jeff, like you just can't start at like 6 miles day one.
Yeah.
Like you haven't. Like
Yeah.
you haven't even slow jogged in 10 years.
Yep.
Like you just
Oh,
can't
you
go
mean,
put in like 5 miles on day one. Does it,
and
you
that,
know,
yeah, that's the thing too, is like,
you jog to the mailbox, buddy,
right.
and like go get the
Yeah.
mail real quick.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how about them dogs you got inside
Yeah.
that never see the road outside?
Just
Like,
go, yeah, take them on
walk
a
them
jog.
outside.
And I'll
Like,
say this too, like, I mean, I ran couple half marathons, just doing stuff on my own, but I got introduced to this group in Newburgh. It's called NERC, but it's Newburgh Evansville Running Club.
damn, I've
And
never heard of that.
yeah, I mean, they're awesome people, dude. Like, so fast. And a couple of them took me under their wing, and I just asked, I'm like, hey, like, I want to run a marathon and I want to try to compete. Like, what can I do? And, I had a guy basically coach me.
Yeah,
And, I studied all this stuff. But when you hire a coach, like, you have someone holding you accountable, you have someone looking from a third party view of like, okay, these runs, like, you definitely ran way too fast. Like, you need to slow
yeah,
down. Like, your easy runs need to be this.
yeah.
Training runs, let's save that energy for the training run,
Hmm.
And, even for my high rock stuff, like, I have a coach because I want someone to push me. I know I can push myself, but when you got
Yeah,
someone else writing your program or, looking from the outside in, like, they get the honest view of what you need to work on.
yeah. And I think there's like a little sense of maybe even like guilt, like human, just like I mean, obviously it's easier to give up on yourself than if you know that someone else is like taking the
It's an
time
accountability factor too.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, to put together your schedule, or they're taking the time like that they thought about you to, like they send you a text throughout the day,
Yeah.
or like, just those things, and you realize this person actually cares.
Yeah.
And that's like,
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to disappoint them, and then to go back on like why coaches or having someone, there to advise you, dude. I mean, my times jumped tremendously, and that would have not happened by myself. Like, I think there's a quote. It's like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
hmm
And it's like you lean on those around you or those that may be more knowledgeable in a certain area if you want to grow in that area.
yeah,
And, you just got to have some humility, and you got to be okay with being uncomfortable. And you got to be okay to ask questions. There's really not a dumb question.
yeah. I think that principle, yeah, I agree. I think that kind of principle of leaning on others can go, because that's kind of what, people have asked me, like, they'll ask me questions, or kind of like, where did I learn this, or like, why do I think this, or whatever. And all of it is like, I've never like hired a coach for that, but it's like I have people that I found either on social media or online,
Mm-hmm.
and not your like 18-year-olds that are like,
The
all over
influencer
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that like, but like real people online that you find that really live
Yeah.
the kind of lifestyles that you're wanting to live, or they do the things that you want to do, and they take it. You can find great people online that probably have a YouTube channel, and like that's where I've learned probably 50% of any sort of knowledge from working out that I've got is just from YouTube, from people that, again, verify your sources here. Like,
Right.
be smart about who you're gonna watch and who you're gonna listen to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, using the internet in the sense of just like, there's just so many communities and ways to learn.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, it's really hard. There's not really an excuse for not being able to like obtain knowledge, or that's why it's kind of hard for me sometimes. Like whenever I hear excuses from others for why they can't, like, like, are people talking about like, I don't know what to do in the gym or what? And it's like, I kind of get that, but then again, I kind of don't. It's like you carry around the world in your pocket.
Yeah.
all day, and you spend probably way too many hours a day on it anyway.
Yeah.
How about you like just do a Google search on like a 5-day beginner split,
Yeah.
and like you can watch a 10-minute video and be like, oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's how you start.
And that's the thing is like you got to have a structure or like intentional training. If you just go in each day like, oh, I'm gonna hit chest, but I'll just do whatever is available.
Yeah.
You probably aren't going to be or experience the most growth compared to if there was, like you said, a plan or a structure or something provided, like a blueprint. And that's where, like I said, coaches are important because like they provide the blueprint, but like it's up to me to execute it. And there's some days like, you execute it, like you're like, man, that was great. And there's some days you get your butt kicked and like, like, all right, I'll remember this, in 2 weeks when this circles back, like I'm going to get this next time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That explains, man. That's what happened yesterday at that race I just had yesterday, man. Fell apart. Just, I don't know. I don't know what it was, dude. From mile 16 to mile 24, I didn't have a single drop of fluids, didn't eat a single thing. I couldn't. I started to try to eat these cookies that I had, these like waffle things, and started gagging, dude, on the trail. I just couldn't even stomach it. My legs at like mile 12, my heart rate never came below, I think like 170, 1 through 24, buddy. I mean,
You're just hovering up there.
just pegged out, dude.
Yeah.
Like that race I did a couple of months ago, my heart rate was, I think, average like 152, which is literally like my zone 2. It was perfect. It was execute. I couldn't have executed it better. And this time I had no control. And by the time mile 24 came around, I finished that third lap, and it started raining. My legs were just lead, buddy.
Yeah,
and I was like,
happens.
I just don't. I can't.
That happens.
And at the time, I was like, I convinced myself it was physical. I was like, I can't eat, I can't do this. This blah blah blah. My vision was getting kind of blurry. I think I had maybe like some sodium imbalances going on. Like, whatever, nothing crazy. I was convincing myself it was probably bigger an issue than it was, and like, that's always kind of a mind, bend the next day whenever it's like, wow, I thought it was physical. I was like, I had it convinced, and then the next day I'm like,
Yeah. And
nah,
that happens.
you kind of bitched out, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of went soft, and that's but
it's no, like, I mean, like you said, there probably was a lot of variables. But sometimes you wake up and you go to perform and it's just, you just don't got it in you. And that's life, it's just how you, like, I'm sure you'll remember that, like leading up to your next race, in your
I got another one in 2 weeks, dude. I am coming back.
Yep.
I got 2 weeks. I already signed up for another one.
Yep.
I got home yesterday. As soon as I got home, I got online and signed it. I was like, yep, gotta go again.
Yeah. It's your redemption, right? And
Yeah.
that's the thing is like, you can choose, there's two choices. You can choose to be like, man, that sucks. Like, you get down in the dumps and be like, yeah, I'm probably just not going to do an ultra again or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can use it as fuel and be like, no, I wimped out this time, but I'm not letting that happen again. So we're going to circle back in 2 weeks and we're going to go to war with ourselves, right? I guarantee that's your plan.
Yeah, that's what, and it's like, it's really weird because whenever, like the first race, I don't know how it was for you, but like the first race was as long as I finish, right? That was the mindset. And of course, that's like always the mindset. Finishing is the number one, but then there's like the athlete part of me too, right? Like the competitor part that's like, Like, and I even told Briley at that race yesterday, sitting there debating if I'm going back out or not. I said it. I looked at her. I said, physically, I could probably do it. I probably could. I can say that, which, is crazy. It's like, I know I probably could physically. And that's like a wild place to be whenever like, you can do something physically, but like mentally you're so just geeked out that like you can't even get yourself to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could probably I could 100% walk these 8 miles, and it might take me 6 hours, and I could do it, and I would finish. But now I'm like, to me, that like something felt a little off about that. It's like, yeah, but like
This wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, I made the promise to myself to give my best effort every time that I'm out here, and I outside of that is in God's control, and I can't control anything outside of that. You know, if I give everything that I can and it's not enough, then like
Yeah.
it's like
You can lay your head
now it's
down
like,
at
you
night.
know, does the finish line? Yes, it mattered, but like if I gave the finish line at just like a 20% and just like, but just to like get the little prize at the end, it's like I don't know. Is there anything honorable in that?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
or it's like, do I cut my losses now? I went as hard as I could. I gave what I could, and I just like today's not the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's up to
I
the
don't know the
person.
answer to that. But
I think you went with your gut. So,
did you have those any instances like that whenever you ran Boston? Was there any time where you're like, oh boy,
dude, Boston was
was that your first marathon?
no.
What was your
So
first one?
it was in Austin, Texas. I did.
Yeah, how was that, dude? I want
That
to
was
go to
great.
Austin.
Austin's awesome. I love Austin, Texas. It's
They
like
got a
over.
marathon on the 8th, or an ultra on the 8th.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law just texted me literally on the way home from that race. He rides bikes and races.
Yeah.
And he said, "You want to go to Austin on the 8th?" I have to work that weekend. I was like, "Damn it, dude."
It was a great. I mean, that was an awesome first marathon.
Yeah.
I chose it because I wanted it to be warm, but
Mhm.
starting temp was 31 degrees in Austin,
Really?
Texas,
What
in
month was it?
February.
Oh, okay.
But I was expecting like 40s. But anyways, great experience. I think I ran a 3:24 for my first marathon. It was a lot of hills. And then Indy was great, super flat, super fast.
That one's coming up.
Yeah, I think that's and like
I think it might be the 8th too.
yeah. Boston though, winter training cycles like aren't my favorite. It's not the cold, but I just with winters are usually busy with work, and I didn't have the greatest training cycle. But literally the week of the race, I woke up one morning and my big toe, like I couldn't put weight on it. And I was like, I'll just, shake it off. Well, I worked a couple days and then I was in Owensboro. They sent me to this orthopedic guy because they're like, you better get that checked out. So I had a stress fracture.
Mm.
And then I was like, well, I'm not going to run Boston. And even the doctor was like, I know you're going to run Boston, so let's just give you a steroid pack and
Yeah.
we'll just get through it. I went out, was going to try to run like a 3:25. About 10 miles in, it was just pain from my foot up my leg. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to finish. Like, I just want to say I'm a Boston Marathon finisher.
Yeah.
I accepted it wasn't going to be the race that I wanted, but
Right.
I at least wanted to, like, turn the corner and run down that strip and at
Yeah.
least cross.
Especially in Boston.
So, I mean,
Is that like the mecca of marathons in the
Oh, yeah.
United States? Like that's the one, right? Boston.
Dude, there's literally
I mean-
people from mile 1 all the way to 26 across the road.
Yeah, that's
And you
awesome.
go through all these different towns, they're throwing parties. It's like a big barbecue. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like you run through Chinatown,
Yeah.
and you get to run through the.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. A bunch of small towns, and then you run into Boston, and all the universities, like all the college students are outside. It's cool.
It's a party, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a. I might have to just like, 10-mile a little marathon or something, or 10-minute mile a marathon, just real nice and easy. And I'd probably go about 11 minutes. But I don't know. It just seems like whenever you run, people that are running marathons, that's more of like the competitive side of running of long. And not that there's obviously ultra runners that like compete and are phenomenal at it. But like to me it was just like I don't know, like ultras just seem a little more laxed on like the it's not so much the time, it's just like a little bit different mindset than like just marathon. And which I've just never been like a very fast person either. So whenever I see people like a 3:25 marathon, like yeah, right. Like, are you kidding? What is that? How many? Or
Was
Is that 8 something or
I think it's
faster?
750.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if I could hold 750 for a 5K.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I just had
It's
never
all
been
just
one of
training
those
style.
fast runners.
and that's the thing though that like running teaches you is you got to be consistent. You can't just be good one or great one week and then bad the next. Like it's consistent, small incremental gains.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I liked it and got addicted was because you have to be consistent. You have to show up. and do the work. There's no cheating it. If you want to get fast, like you got to put the work in. Otherwise, you're gonna be humiliated on race day.
Yeah.
So I mean that's it, and that's ultra running too. Is you better
Yeah.
put the miles in and dial in your nutrition. Otherwise, like you can show up and feel fresh, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to make it, 50 miles or whatever the race distance is.
Yeah. I fueled with whole foods, like real foods this time, instead of just like gels and like waffles. I was like doing like peanut butter and like honey sandwiches, and um I did have some like the waffles, the whatever little endurance snack things. And then I had like a roll of Oreos too. It was like just snacking on some Oreos.
Yeah.
Uh and I think now, kind of evaluating that too, I think I might have overfueled. I think I actually compete better on a little bit lower calorie. Even at the longer distances, I should still eat, but I think it was too much.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, because in my head I was getting the mindset that like maybe the better I fuel, the better I'll feel. Instead, I think like the more I feel, the just like the fuller I felt, and like the legs got heavier,
Mm-hmm.
and the hills got longer. Like, the next thing you know, my appetite, it was just, I was repulsed at anything. I didn't eat until like 8 o'clock
Yeah.
that night. I got home, still couldn't eat. It was just like, nope.
I mean, kudos to you for the ultra distance stuff, because I mean it's a space I want to venture in at some point, but I just
Oh, dude,
never had.
oh, you could do it. You could do it right now. You got the fitness.
I'm a
If-
high rocks. The miles aren't that high per weekly.
I mean, I only got 24 in yesterday. I didn't even get to a marathon.
I guess that's true.
So, dude, I tell you what, so from the last race to now has been like a little under 2 months. And I had like days where I would I'd run like, I'd get up and put 10 in, and then I'd put another 6 or 7 that night. Those kinds of things. I was still getting in 35 miles a week. I got up to 50 like 2 weeks. I didn't have as many long distance runs. I kind of did away with the long distance because I was kind of splitting them up into two different ones. I don't know if like that backfired, if I should have kept in the long runs like at the 20 miles I was doing. But I tell you what, at mile, I was just talking to a friend of mine that ran Shawnee with me, and me and him were talking about how during the Shawnee race, we never once had this thought of quitting. Like, never did it ever cross our mind. Never did we get to a spot where we were like so uncomfortable. We were like, oh, I might not be able to do this. At mile 13, I was thinking about quitting. That's how bad it was. I got videos on my phone. I sent them to my friend because I was recording. I was gonna like put on my story like every 5 miles, like updates throughout the run, and then I was just like taking some videos because it was really nice trails and it was really pretty. It was like one part of it was like down by a river. You ran right down by the river. It was really nice. And I got one video. I think it was like mile 16 or something that I took, and I was just like, I was going on. I was like, dude, I'm not having a good time. Like, you could tell just like the look in my eyes, like I was falling apart. My face was just red. Like I was completely just, it was not even that hot. And I was just like so beet red, like sweating uncontrollably, like just completely having a meltdown. I got a couple videos where you could just see it in my face. It was like, that guy is not doing well right now. And, I don't know. I think, I've got a pretty strong belief that, God had his hand in everything, and it's only God willing that you do anything you want to do, and I've kind of been proof of that, and without like the idea of faith of God, like literally the last couple of years of my life wouldn't have happened probably.
Yeah.
So I do have a firm belief in like God willing that He will, He may not give you what you want, but He'll give you what you need. And so as much as it sucks, and it's like I would like to finish that race, it's like, well, it must not have been God willing, because people may ask why you think that is. Well, because if it was God willing, I would have finished the race, and I didn't. So
bad things happen, dude, and it's up to you how you perceive them and take them. Like you can. I mean, it's going to happen. It's happened to you already. So then you have two choices, like, do you sulk and be mopey? I joke to my fiance, I'll be like, they have poopy pants. Like it's like they're just kind of like you know. Or you can be like, you know what, that was a lesson learned, and I'll see you next time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I well, I had a moment where I was like, I was done with ultra running too. I was like, I don't want to do this again. I was like, this isn't fun. Um, but then I remembered there was me, and my wife could tell you like there was after that first race that I did. I even told her I was like the reason I was so ready to do another one is because I never got near that like wanting to quit. I never got close. And that was what I was kind of searching for that.
Hmm.
Like I kind of wanted that. There's something about you can't there is like a little like screw loose and not all, but probably like 75% of ultra runners there's a little disconnect probably mentally from like and I mean that with love because it's in me too. So it's like
Yeah.
um and that's what I wanted, I was like, no, I was like, I want to be on the edge of like feeling like death, And
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say I was on the edge of feeling like death yesterday, but I definitely found a limit that I wasn't aware. It wasn't my ultimate limit because I'm ready to go again,
Yeah.
but I found a limit that I didn't know existed,
Yeah.
and that's new.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I learned a lot by that. I was like, oh wow, you're kind of a bitch, bro. Like that's what like
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
it's just like it was a really good case or a really good act of I guess humility I got to
right.
experience that I think my life's been pretty good the last couple of years. Again, not because of me, but because of something greater, moving throughout my life. And uh, I got reminded yesterday, hey, things might be okay, but don't forget,
Yeah.
like
Don't forget
who's in charge
Right.
here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah.
you're only things are only okay
Yeah.
because I allow them to be.
Yeah.
And it's like,
100%. That's
um,
the thing too. Like, I mean, you could say runners have screw loose, or even like people who do bodybuilding or anything. Like, it's chosen suffering, and it's however you want
mm,
to push yourself. Like everybody has their thing, but you can you can choose to suffer and push yourself, or you can choose to suffer and be sorry for yourself and just kind of be like, oh, I wish, man, I should really go to the gym or I should start running. And it's like you either gonna have the pain of regret or you're gonna have the pain of discipline. Either way, it's painful.
oh
You
yeah.
just got to choose which one you want, and that's you and others. You go choose the suffering that you want,
Mm,
whether it's running, lifting, anything.
yeah, kind of accepting that the world can just kind of suck sometimes.
And what's
And
worthwhile isn't easy, you
yeah,
know.
and it's like, do you want to just be fed a bunch of shit your whole life and just kind of take it on the chin time and time again? Or how about the next time maybe you throw the first punch? Like
Hmm.
you pick how it's gonna go down
Yeah,
this time,
yeah,
instead of just dealing the card. I don't like that like, you just deal the cards you're dealt. Like, no. I'll throw them out and get another one.
dude.
Like,
I hear you.
dude,
That's
like,
exactly
you know what
where.
I mean? I don't because that's just some bullshit. Because if people just all the time just dealt the hands they were dealt, and no one would ever like supersede. I think in life, and like, how many stories do you hear of really successful people that came from nothing? It's
Yeah,
like they didn't just play the cards they were dealt. No, like
they
they fought and
yeah,
they took someone else's cards
and
and
they
they
went
did
after what
whatever
made
they
them
had.
happy.
Yeah, and they fought for a new deck and they reshuffled them and they
That was
um.
kind of my uh like lowest moment. It was a tough year for me just overall, but I kind of hit that point in the summer where I was like, all right, you're not happy. Like I wasn't happy
Mm,
with my job and just overall things going on, and I'm like, I prayed about it, whatever. It was just like, like use me how I'm supposed to be used. Like I don't feel like I'm living my life purpose, and with what I'm dealing with, like this isn't sustainable.
yeah.
So I took the leap of faith, and then yeah, like I'm opening a training facility. I'm living my dream, pouring into others, and it was like you said, I could choose to just accept the cards I was dealt and the things I was dealing with,
Right.
and just stay in the stable job, stay in my comfort zone because I know I get a paycheck every 2 weeks and whatever. Or it's like, all right, man, if you want to live this, like here's my deck of cards. Let's put it out there and see what these do. And that's kind of where I'm at. And, you know, I can tell you I'm excited and it's exhilarating. It's going to be hard. But when you choose, instead of letting someone else choose or your circumstances choose, it feels a lot better.
No doubt. Yeah, I find really interesting to the connection of the people that choose to pick their own suffering and choose to do these hard things, also with coinciding with typically like strong faith and belief in God. And I find that sort of whatever that connection is to, a lot of people that you said that you see do any sort of long distance style of training or the kind of training that where you're really pushing yourself, it typically is backed by some sort of strong faith behind that. And that's just like kind of what came to mind when you're talking about, you made the comment, you said, I prayed about it. And I think there's a lot of power in that. And I don't know, there's something about that connection between the two of them is something I find super interesting. It's something that's really captivated me recently. I just built this little altar over here, like that I pray at now twice a day.
That's awesome, dude. I just actually noticed all that. That's sweet.
And I'm not very good at it, and like I don't really know what I'm doing a lot. And a lot of the prayers like that I'll find online and try to like make a little bit of structure about it, so I'm not just like saying some off the wall stuff that's irrelevant. Because it's like why I heard someone say it's like you don't just have to tell God a bunch of stuff he already knows.
Yeah.
But how do you find yourself with a big faith backing? Do you find yourself
I think
is religion a big part of your life? And I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical even of like calling just like the belief of God like religion. I don't if you want to get back into like early days.
I just say, do you have faith?
Yeah, early days of like Christianity, there wasn't all these other. It was just like, do you believe in God? Yeah. I like that version of it a lot better. It's like, do you go to here? Do you do this? Do you that? It's like
none of that matters.
It's like, well, it's like, what's in your heart?
Yeah, like, I mean, I think like one, it's literally the centerpiece of my life. It's the centerpiece of my relationship with my fiance. It's the centerpiece of why I'm honestly choosing to do what I'm doing now is, look, man, like Jesus went through so much pain.
Yeah.
And you say like people who do hard things or ultra runners, even athletes, like NFL athletes, NBA athletes, whatever, they have suffered for so long, but it's still, if you even combine everyone's suffering, it still doesn't add up to the suffering that he went through.
Amen.
And I think that it's literally, it's I say mutual respect. It's more than mutual respect.
Yeah,
but you're like, wow, that was painful. Like you're 24 miles, you're like, that was painful. Like imagine what Jesus went through.
So that's kind of what I'm like.
Everyone knows.
That's what I'm kind of
by it.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. I see. I don't want this to come across as like me comparing some run I went on to like the suffering of Jesus on the cross, because that's blasphemy and insane.
Yeah.
I just mean like something about like, because obviously like we can't suffer the way, that's the beauty of it, is that we don't have to suffer the way Jesus did. He did it for us, so we don't have to. But it's like, and I even had similar feelings about this whenever I was just like bodybuilding. And because I was like, even whenever I was bodybuilding training, I wasn't just like, 4 sets of 10, like, okay, 4 sets of 10, it was like 3 sets of 6. And I was like lifting some weight and kind of a little aggressive, and might be someone that like catches a side eye from some people, like, oh, this guy,
Yeah.
But it was just because still, even like just in the sense of lifting weights, it was like something about like going hard. And I used to view like the lifting weights as almost like because I didn't know really then like about prayer, and I didn't really know how I didn't know what my use to God could be.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what like my purpose was, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But like I just didn't know. I found other people that or I would see other people that would kind of felt like they like could sacrifice to God or do these things in God's name. And I didn't like have one of those things. And so I was like, okay, well maybe me just like tearing myself down in the gym every day. Like this can be my like kind of like me bowing before God of like I will put myself through this every single day because like I didn't really know how else to connect. And it's kind of the same thing now with like long distance running. You know, it's like again not comparing my pain to Jesus, but just like that idea of like I know what you did for me, so in like in return I
Yeah.
will put myself in these crazy hard
Yeah.
situations. Maybe people don't realize that it could be for a reason deeper than what they think. Maybe, like you said, maybe it's not a screw loose. Like, what if there's like it's an actual pull inside you, and you're just
Yeah.
you don't want to be open to like
So,
maybe the Holy Spirit is actually trying to like
yeah.
whisper something in your ear.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, the thing about running too is, that you're with your thoughts. So like I always tell people, like my morning runs is like one of the favorite, like my most favorite time of the day because I'm running before the world wakes up. It's quiet.
mhm,
I don't run with headphones and I just sit there and filter things out. And yeah, sometimes like I'm just talking out loud to God, praying,
yeah,
whatever's on my mind.
mhm,
And that like solitude time with just yourself, like myself, or also with him, like dude, it adds up and it pays dividends. Like you said, like we're not doing it comparing it to Jesus' suffering,
mhm,
but as humans we still are meant to like go through hard things.
mhm,
Like we're not meant to have everything handed to us. We're not meant to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. Like our bodies need to move. Our bodies need to sweat. Our
yeah,
bodies need to be challenged and our minds need to be challenged. And fortunately for us, we can do that in the comfort of fitness. We don't have to go hunt for food. We don't have to worry
yeah,
about a tiger or something in
right,
our backyard
yeah.
eating us alive.
Stealing our children, while
Exactly.
they're outside playing in the yard.
Like we're very fortunate in the sense of like our hard things are chosen
Chosen.
for the most part.
Dude, that's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I was just, that is like struck an image. I just like, in my mind, whenever you said that, I just went to like, even some of these other countries, these third world countries that are still just like,
Yeah.
dude, how lucky to like, we're just sitting here with all this
We're
technology,
blessed,
just
dude.
like, yeah, just talking like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
Blessed.
who do, and and then like, whenever you like look at, what your like Lord and Savior went through, and it's just like the arrogance to just like not be an active human and like go hard and whatever it is you love in your life, and like
Mhm.
to just like look for all the easy ways and everything to be convenient, and like you don't want to face the idea that you might fail sometimes, and it's just like the arrogance, dude, of us as human beings
Yeah.
is like
And
it's so bizarre.
sometimes we fall like victim to our own thoughts, but like I'll be honest, like when I was in my lowest of the low this year, like God pulled me out of it. I mean, I did myself, but that's typically where he'll come find you, right? And I think it had to, I had to hit my lowest to figure out like what my purpose was going to be.
Hmm.
And, some people may feel lost, but there's always hope. I mean, we were given hope, a long time ago. And as long as you still move towards that hope and just that mission of being just a good human to people, to yourself, to the world, there needs to be more positivity out in the world. And if
Hmm.
everyone's taking that like step and decision to do that, the world would become a better place. And that's kind of my goal with the business and the facility is like it's going to be a lot of people from all walks of life, different ages, skin colors, religions, political beliefs. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Hmm.
We're all going to come together and we're going to work hard, push each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be a positive community. It's not going to be, judging or anything like everyone's there to like get better.
Right.
And like I said, if you want to go fast, go alone.
Yeah.
But you'll probably burn yourself out or
Hmm.
not get to where you need to go. But if you want to go far, like go together.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it like if we went and lifted together, ran together, I would bet 9 out of 10 times we'd probably have a better lift or run doing it together versus us just going on our own because
Yeah.
we're there to push each other, right?
Oh, definitely.
Like you see me do, I don't know, 185 for bench or whatever, and you're like, let's just add 10 more. And then I see
Yeah.
that and I'm like, okay, all right, like maybe we can add 5 more. And it's
Yeah.
just that little extra push, you know?
Yeah. And that became very, after that first race, that mental barrier that you're kind of talking about. You find some people that can kind of knock those sort of mental barriers down on their own. And, but you're talking about like people that have real, like some Goggins level people that have
Yeah.
like really been through just like, and he just does it all on his own. Like
Yep.
he's just out there on his own doing that stuff. But, I did notice like after that first race, whenever I got back to training like the following week, I was just like faster and quicker, like because I had that experience of like together, and I got to see what like all of us pushing each other, and like next thing you know, I just had like all these mental barriers were coming down, and like I was performing better, and all that. Like I think I told you, you asked me how I was feeling, and I said I feel way stronger than the last time.
Yep.
I thought.
Yep.
Um, but that was just a mental barrier that it had just come down.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, something with the well, like I said, if you just want to like carry on, if being biblical is like the community.
Mhm.
Like there's a huge emphasis on like the community. That's what.
We're meant to be around each other, dude. We're
Yeah,
not meant
that's
to be
what
separated.
the early church was. It wasn't a place. It was only the church whenever the people were together. And
Mhm.
what did Jesus say? When two or three men get together in a group, then he's present. That kind of thing. There's something about that,
Yeah.
like being around one another, and we're not. Yeah, we shouldn't just be locked up
Yeah.
in our houses, and
Yeah. No.
it just seems like everything in this world in today's day and age is like meant to divide and to keep people away from each other,
Yeah.
and they want you to believe that everybody is racist towards everybody, and everyone is racist against if you're gay or whatever it is, and whatever is on the news that week. It just like
Yeah. Yeah.
seems
And
like it's an overhaul social like experiment of just like how far away from God can we get these people?
yeah, and it's just like even, I tell people like no matter what someone's like beliefs in or whatever, at the end of the day, like their core is they're human. Like they have a soul. And, some of us are further along in our journey of life than others. And,
Mhm.
Maybe my job is to pull someone a little bit further along on their journey, and, same for you. You may 2 years down the line run into a guy that's new into ultra running and you end up having to help him out. And
Right.
you're going to remember that terrible race that you had,
Mhm.
yesterday.
Oh
And
yeah.
you'll be like, hey, man, like I had the same thing happen to me 2 years ago,
Right.
but I decided to keep showing up.
Yeah.
And I'm way better than I was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's the power of community is like
Yeah.
someone when your chin's down to just pull it back up.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're all looking to do anyway, is compare. It's
You don't need to. It should be you and you
yeah,
versus you.
of
That's it.
course. Yeah, it's the comparison's the thief of joy, and that's one good thing that's great about kind of ultra running. You're not really comparing, and you don't mean to, but it's like you can't help but just like looking in the lane next to you. How's that guy doing? You just can't. It's like whenever you notice, whenever I was coming out, the guy that won that race, dude, I had just finished my third lap. He was coming and finishing it. Like who is this guy? But yeah, it, yeah, I think that's something about that can be a dangerous line to kind of play with the. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that point was going to make sense now that I was starting to think about it. But anyway, yeah, just something about the community, and I think it goes back farther than, like I said, just right now. Whenever you look back over the history of just
Yeah.
from the beginning of time, something about.
I mean, you look at let's just say sports. Dude, I can tell you like some of my greatest core like memories is like those practices with your teammates, those group lifts
Yeah.
with your teammates, like or
Right.
those terrible conditioning workouts, but it's like
Yeah.
you got to get it done, and like how you get it done is you lean on each other and you get each other through
Yeah.
because it all sucks for everyone. and it's just like, hey, you got to pick your brother up or pick your sister up and be like, hey, let's go. Like,
Hmm.
you're not alone. Like, let's get through this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, dude. Going, yeah, back to the gym. Um, so is this gonna be like classes or are you planning on, you're gonna be in there like all day doing classes, or is it gonna be people come and go as they please type of thing?
no, it won't be. It's not going to be a kind of like just membership only structure like a Planet Fitness or Crunch or whatever. It's going to be a lot of group classes. Like I plan on running group classes probably from 5:30 a.m. to like 8:30, um, just to give different options for people, in their
Yeah.
schedules. I'll probably have like open gym hours maybe from like 9 to like 3 or so. But I train a lot of kids, and I will have some evening like adult classes too. I'm still kind of playing with it where I know like some people they may only want to do like 3 classes, a week, and then the other 2 days they still want to lift. So yeah, they could come during those open gym hours, but it's definitely going to be class based, both for adults, and my kids, and then yeah, there's personal training options
Yeah.
too for that. But I plan on being there. I mean, all day. Like it's my baby now,
Yeah.
and it's kind of it's going to evolve with kind of what the needs is or what people are kind of presenting. But my focus would definitely be class based, community based. Like let's push each other, um, functional fitness kind of stuff. There's no machines. Like there's no
Yeah.
you know barbell curl machine or nothing. Like
Yeah.
it's power racks. There's a 15 by 50-foot roll of turf in the building right now. So I'm gonna have sleds, ropes. There'll be like one of those like high rocks racks with the wall ball targets,
Hmm.
so you can have benches. You can squat in there too, but wall balls. There's gonna be rowers, ski machines. It's kind of going to be like a hybrid style of like private gym
Right.
where it's not going to be 1,000 members and it's just kind of yeah come and go as you please. Like it's
Yeah.
like we're gonna all come together, work out, push each other. Because in this kind of gym, like you can do your own thing, but it probably does need to be under the supervision of me, or others, like in a group
Right.
setting.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's not yeah, I can't. So for people that just aren't familiar, real quick, with the High Rocks, what's the chain of events on a High Rocks event? There's so six different
there's
stations,
8.
8 stations, and then the eight are
It's it's 8 1 kilometer run. So it's you run a kilometer,
how far is a kilometer?
like
I'm an American.
points.
I'm a dumb American.
I gotta look it
I
up
don't know what
whenever
a
I do these
kilometer is.
workouts of like 500-meter intervals, whatever.
Right. Yeah,
But
dude.
it's
I'm
it's
glad I'm not
funny.
the only one. I'm like, I don't know a
No,
meter. I
dude,
don't
it's the
know.
same. But it's 0.625 of a mile.
Okay.
So you run. So anytime I say run, it's that distance. But you
Yeah.
run. It's a 1,000-meter ski machine. You run. Then you do 50 meters sled push.
Okay.
Run. 50
Yeah.
meters sled pull. So you pull it with a rope.
Push it, and then you have to pull it back with the
Yep.
rope.
And then you run again. Come back. You do 80 meters of burpee broad jumps. Those are the worst.
Yeah.
You run. Then you do the rower for 1,000 meters. Run. You will do lunges. Or no, farmer's carry.
Hmm.
It's 50 pounds in each hand. And that's, I believe, 100-meter carry. Run. Uh, Sandbag lunges, 50
Hmm.
pounds on your back. Run. And then you finish with 100 wall balls. So that's
Yeah.
dude, the end, you're just like, it's chosen suffering, yes, but it's
Yeah.
it's miserable.
Yeah. I watched this one video of this guy that I watched him as they would just record him going through his stations, and yeah, he got back. He got down. He was a freak, dude. He got down to the end. He just crushed out all 100 in a
Yeah,
row.
it's
Just
insane.
ate them up.
It's
I was like,
insane.
I know that's a different level of like really being able to clock out and kind of get outside of
Oh
yourself
yeah, you just go to the
mentally.
pain cave and just
And
sit
like
there.
and that's like with like ultras, it's like, they say you go to hell and you go to hell, then you come back, and then you go to hell and then you come back, and then you go to hell, and it's a whole back and forth thing. Whereas like kind of marathons or like high rocks, it's kind of like, no, we're going to hell and we're staying there
Yeah.
until it's over. Like there's no coming out of it until it's over.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of just one thing after another. It's like,
And it's waves too. Like when I did the simulator in Indy, I mean, I got my butt kicked by the burpee broad jumps. I mean, it was, and I didn't prep. I trained for like 2 weeks before I went and did it, but I was just like, I'll just do it and see what I need to work on. Needed to work on everything, but the burpee broad jumps were the main focus.
yeah,
And it's crazy. Like I had like a second wind, like towards the end. And it's kind of like if you just ride it out, like you're gonna come out of it,
yeah,
and honestly, you're gonna be really happy with yourself.
yeah,
And the high rock stuff, like people joke with me, like, "Oh, I would never compete," and it's like you don't have to compete, but like when I run these adult group workouts, you have some strength movements, and then you mix in, 200-meter ski or 200-meter row, like that's an added cardio,
yeah,
and your heart rate's staying elevated. It's kind of like HIIT training. And yeah, you don't have to go out and run, 3 miles or whatever,
right,
and you still get cardio in.
yeah,
And I think that's what a lot of us are missing, where people kind of get tired of going to like an Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness, whatever, is you kind of don't really like get the juices going, like you
yeah.
don't get like the actual endorphin release from like high intensity training.
Well, even whenever I was hitting weights hard, my heart rate was still, you're talking like 130s, like
Yeah.
140.
Yeah.
Like I still couldn't like I could go really hard on sets of bench or like squatting, whatever, and I still was not getting like 160, 170, 180, like that kind of style of work. And I think that, like I said, that's kind of where like you get into that rhythm, and then I don't know, your body just kind of, a lot of people just like they get into the same days of running, and it's like the same. And if you think that your body doesn't get used to that and like kind of figure yourself out, like you're kind of crazy. Your body figures that out and it's like, oh, I know what we're doing.
This training's helped my running. It's helped how I feel overall. It's also like made me stronger too. Like I feel that I could go do a marathon block, next week and start it for 12, 16 weeks, and I will perform much better than I did before because of the fitness that it's given me.
Yeah.
And for you, like, and other runners or even athletes, like, I don't think people realize the importance of, like, you need to do some type of strength training. Like, you need to load your body. You need to strengthen your legs, because running, you just beat yourself down constantly.
Yeah.
Same with kids. Like, I tell themselves, like, they can do all the games, they can do all the practices, that's fine, but like they need to know how to squat. Not load up a bar, but I'm talking like body weight squats, or they hold a small dumbbell, like, and do goblet squats. And like we're all underdeveloped in certain areas, and if we can like just tie all that in, like do the performance and running, athletics, even just overall like everyday life, like you feel so much better.
Right.
And I don't think people realize like how important like lifting weights is.
Yeah. I noticed a big, I don't know if I think I hit one leg day probably the last 2 months after that, which could be another reason why my legs just went so dead. Because whenever I was training for that first one, I was hitting legs consistently all the way up to race day. And this time I was like, I was like, I'm kind of already here. I can probably just hold this, and that probably is another.
I'll be honest
reason.
with you, that was probably a big factor.
Yeah, and just legs just got weak, and it's just like it's become because I'm finding myself more interested in like a high rock style of workout than like just going to the gym and lifting weights. Like my interest, since I've found this kind of new passion and love for like this long distance running, like going into the gym and just like hitting back or whatever it is. It's like, dude, I don't want to go do that. Like I'm not.
You need to come to the garage sometime. Seriously.
Yeah, dude. That's what I mean. That's the kind of training I'm just push-ups now. I'm wanting to get a pull-up bar to put in the garage and just like start banging out a shit ton of pull-ups every single day.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, that stuff is just, way more fun. Like I'd rather do squats and, like I said, do wall ball squats and like throw that ball around.
Yeah.
Then like
Yeah.
it's like, do you want to go bench? Like, not really, dude.
And
And I'm not against it all the time. Like, I'm not saying I don't ever want to do those things, but it's like I'm just not interested in that being part of like my regular
Yeah.
routine anymore.
And that's what I've told people too. Like, I mean, you still need that kind of like bodybuilding or traditional strength training, but you need to add in at least a couple days of like circuit style training,
Yeah.
functional fitness, whatever. And like, I always tell people this to go with like your legs on your race yesterday. So when we get hurt and we tear something, why do you go to PT?
To strengthen it.
Right. And the areas around
And
it.
the areas
right?
around it. Well, yeah, a lot of times the areas
Exactly.
around it.
Right, because it needs to be supported.
Sure.
So like, just like we do after we get injured, we tear something, break something, whatever, it's no different than like, you know, you're a baseball player, basketball player, runner, whatever. Like, we're breaking down our bodies and whatever our, you know, respective sport is. You need to rehab it.
Sure.
It doesn't mean you got to go throw 315 on and max
Right.
out. I don't max out. Like,
Yeah.
the lowest reps I go is probably sets of 4
Mhm.
because the risk versus reward.
Definitely.
And like for you, there was probably multiple other factors.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you probably would have done at least like light legs once a week, you probably would have felt a little better.
Right. Oh yeah, it definitely wouldn't have made me feel worse.
Yeah.
If that's what people think.
Yeah.
You know,
And there's
like-
definitely a time to take strength training out whenever your race is coming up, like probably not 10 days before about that time.
Yeah.
But no, dude, like it's the reason why physical therapy is booming is because we all need to rehab areas around whatever areas give us issues. And you can eliminate having to go to PT when you're older if you load your body with some weight.
I used to have some sciatica. I had some sciatica pain that took off. Got to the point so bad one morning I had to have Briley dress me and take me to the ER because I
That
couldn't
just
move.
happened to me like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And like I was in tears, couldn't move. Like I couldn't stand up straight. I was walking around completely bent over.
Yep.
And she had to put my socks on and she had to put my shirt on. I mean, I was in some serious trouble. And you know how I got that to go away and has never came back? I started stretching my hamstrings. That was my problem. My hamstrings were just so tight that it was pulling so hard. It was just locking me up. And that's what the person told me. They were like asking how often I stretched. And at that time, I did a little bit, but not too much. And now I'm like pretty religious with like the guns and like rubbing my legs out, like getting that stuff built up. That's built up and they're actually moving. But ever since, and you know, I wouldn't even like. Yeah, you should like stretch your back, your upper body, of course. But if you take the time to stretch your lower body like efficiently, the rest of you will feel like so much better. At least in my personal opinion. Like I said, I thought it was my back. I thought I was having issues with like my spine, all this other stuff, and I just started stretching my hamstrings. And to this day, my back, fine,
dude, 100%.
like, just simply, literally, and all you like literally bent over, just touching my toes, and all my problems, my back went away.
So I'll tease this out there, but we will have yoga classes at the place too.
Oh, cool.
So not for me, but my fiance teaches yoga, so
cool.
There'll be some active recovery options too, and there's a separate room for that.
Oh, that'll be sweet. Yeah, I have never done any yoga. I probably should.
Dude, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, everyone talks about it.
You want to get humbled? Go do a yoga
class. That's what everyone says. And I believe it. Yeah, because it's just, again, I think kind of going back to my point with just, once I started running, I just didn't realize how just like unathletic I was from just like working out. So I started running, and it's like kind of once you do yoga, I think it's just another. You realize like, oh, you think you're kind of in shape? Like, well, not really.
Well, and it's just like when we hurt something and we need to strengthen it, but like when we work our body out, whatever muscle group it is, it gets tighter. There's micro tears or whatever, and if you don't release it and stretch and whatever, it's just gonna keep getting tighter and tighter. And then for you, your SI joint or something probably slipped out, or it was pressing down on your sciatic nerve. And recovery is just as important as working out and
Yeah.
exercising.
It was wild, dude. It was so pinched up. Whenever I took my shirt off, my hip bones were uneven.
Yep. I
Like,
went to the chiropractor and I've never been to one, and yeah, my hips were like 2 inches
yeah,
out
like
of
you could
alignment.
see, like whenever I was like this, bent over, and
Yeah.
whenever I tried to stand up, and you can tell I was just like shifted,
Yep.
just completely.
Yep.
And I walked into the doctor like this, and I sat down, and I don't like to be, I've never been like, I'm not gonna go to the doctor just to like try to get some pills or something, I mean, like that just always seemed pretty wrong to me. And I never wanted to like go into the doctor and like with an injury and look like I was just kind of fishing for maybe something. And I remember like I walked in there and laid down, and that's the first I said, Doc, I said, I do not want to be one of these people. I was like, but I need something.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I've never done this in my life, but like, and hopefully I never have to again. I was like, but I need something right now, dude, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the day.
Dude, back pain and that, or like sciatica pain, like it's excruciating. Like you don't realize, like you use it for everything.
Hmm.
Like I was when I was in that situation, like you, I couldn't put on my socks. Like I was screwed.
Yeah.
And
Well, you just to hold yourself, I couldn't even stand up.
mhm.
Like I couldn't even hold myself up. It was so
Yep.
uncomfortable. I mean, I was walking around like I was 80 and
Yep.
like I was all bent over at the waist. Like I was closer to my toes, than I
Yeah.
was like standing up straight. Like it
Yeah.
was bizarre.
No, it's. I hope I don't got to deal with it again. So I'm gonna do my best to try to avoid that the best I can.
When's the gym opening? What are we looking at for an open date?
December 1st. Yep. I want to
Earlier
open.
than we talked
I
about the
want to.
first
I want
time.
to open the beginning of December. Maybe do a grand opening event like that Saturday. I believe is the 7th. Like maybe have some food and
Yeah.
free classes, whatever. But
Yeah, people coming and checking it out.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm gonna be the first member, man.
I
I'm
appreciate it.
gonna...
I think if everything the equipment and all that can get set up or whatever, I'm probably gonna open the space up too, just to allow people to walk through it
Hmm.
before we even open, just to see it. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand people may want to see the space or what they're getting into before they sign up for any
Sure.
packages and stuff. But I mean, what would you be looking for, I guess, in a private gym? Like what would be things that you, I guess, would want to see, like
Um,
as a you know person that lives in the area?
well, I think just the idea of the gym and like the style of training is good. I don't think a lot of people know about that style of training as much. I think it like the High Rocks is coming onto the scene, and I think it's really, I think a lot of people are trending kind of back in this direction of more the functional. Um, so I think just like having the gym here with someone like yourself that's knowledgeable about it is going to be super beneficial. And I think the fact that you're doing it in the structured way that you're doing it is really good because I think like kind of like you said in a gym like that, if you kind of just let people do whatever, it could probably get messy. People, you're not, it's like you just don't want to like be wasting the space,
Hmm.
and especially for you, like this isn't like a, huge corporation gym where you can just like have four people coming in and
Yeah.
taking up space and um so I mean as far as what I would want to see, I've really just kind of the way I think you're doing it. I think like I said, I think the structure that you're going to be there and you're going to be like having the workouts and the classes, I think is huge because like I said, I think what maybe kind of turns people away from that style of training is just like there's not really a lot of places you can go and like
Yeah.
kind of learn it
Yeah.
or like experience
Yeah.
it or go to a place where you could go to like a Bob's gym or something and individually find ways to probably do the kind of training, but you're not going to get it in that sort of like
Yeah.
simulation, the 45 minutes, like kind of
Yeah.
the structured way. So
Yeah, I think that I mean the space, and you're welcome to come by anytime to see it. But dude, like I could have 20 people in a class and it would not be crowded at all because
yeah,
of the way I have planned it for stations and it, dude, when you're in there, like it's a dream come true, like I said. And yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be, hey, here's the check-in, like just check in, here's the facility, and then I'm just like not present. Like I'm gonna be present. It's gonna be very personable. I want to build like a good culture where like, dude, it's a happy place that people want to come to and not just work out. I mean, we have a lobby that I'm renovating. We have a little patio area where there's going to be outdoor
Yeah,
furniture.
patio suite.
Like I want it to be a place that not only like people can work out, but that they just enjoy coming to.
Yeah,
Like they want that to be a part of their day because it makes a positive
yeah,
impact. People our age, older, even kids. Like I want the kids, for my speed and agility sessions, like it's running. I put cones out there and yeah, there's change of direction and we are working on things. But like if you look at the big picture,
right.
kids are just running.
Yeah,
But they don't
they're
realize
getting
they're
just
running.
active. They're just
Yeah, and it translates to the sport,
sure.
but they're having so much fun. Um, and it's so cool to see or even hear when they're like, hey, when are we going back to Braden's garage? Like, I can't
Yeah,
wait to just be in the big space of putting it all out there and that just being the only thing I'm doing.
I think now that I've thought on it, I think what I would like to see out of what you're doing, which is it's what you're doing already, but if for me, someone who is interested, not I don't know you, take that all away. I am interested in that style of training. I was interested in it before, so even I don't know you. What I would if I was looking at trying to get into a gym like that, and we had one in the area, and I didn't know who owned it, whatever. And I think if I was going into a gym like that, what I would want to see, and what would keep me coming back, is the community of it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like what I would want to see because um, whenever you watch like these competitions, or like even on like race days and stuff, it's not like there's a lot of people there. The whole thing is community based. There's spectators and like your loved ones are there. Like the whole thing is just like about being like everyone there together, everyone getting better. Again, we're not here to like sit on our phones and like mess around. Like we're here to get better and enjoy doing it. So I think for myself, and one of the reasons I'm so excited about it is because I do know you, so like that makes it nice, and so that community is kind of already like early established. But it's like, um, I want it to, like you said, I want it to be like everyone's excited about like going to Braden's
Mm-hmm.
gym or like, dude, like you're gonna be at Braden's in the morning,
Yeah.
like like it's like yeah, like well, duh, you're gonna be at Braden's in the morning,
Yeah.
like that's what we do, like we
Yeah.
go to Braden's in the morning,
Yeah.
that's what we do,
Yeah. Dude, I
like
mean,
that's what I like. That's what I imagine, like that style
I get
of.
chills thinking about it. Just that, like, I got like now I still have my other job for this week, but like I'm gonna be waking up and like just doing this, and like I'm
Yeah.
gonna wake up into this building and like it's honestly it's a huge blessing, and it's like you said before, it's God's plan, and
Yeah.
it was provided to me, and I'm gonna make the most out of the opportunity to one try to influence as many lives as I can, to help them get in better shape. But like, I'm more excited about the mental and
Mhm.
community aspect of it because we need some positivity in the world, and
Yeah.
we need a place that we can kind of go to, that we can, maybe make connections. Like, people can run into someone, at the gym, and who knows what can come from that? A friendship, business opportunity,
Mhm.
invitation to church, anything. I mean, the sky's the limit, and when there's a space that kind of builds that culture and kind of like just lays it out there, dude, anything can happen.
Yeah. I've kind of touched on exactly what you just said. I've noticed that as far as like the connections doing this podcast, it's insane how just this little bitty podcast, just for me reaching out to people that if it wasn't for this, I would have never. And now I'm, you know, uh, just I've acquired friends and people in my life now that if 2 years ago would have wanted nothing to do with the person I was,
Yeah.
and so now like who I am now, the connections that I've made, I'm very lucky and fortunate in that,
Yeah.
and all just because of like again something like this or something like a gym or whatever it was, like who knows, just in passing you meet someone and then later on in life, now you've like you're wanting this X job or whatever it is, and you know, you remember, yeah, like it's just crazy. You never know.
Yeah.
Just like these simple, just being in a community of that sort and being around others and just putting yourself out there and
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the
it's
name. That's like the meaning behind, like, people are like, why'd you pick one step training? And it was just like, in 2022, whenever I got registered with the state and stuff, I was just like, I just need to just do it. Like, I just need to just make that like decision. And so I just kept like sitting on names, and I was just like, you know, it was when I started running, and I'm like, I'll just say one foot in front of the other, and then one step training kind of came to me.
mhm.
And yeah, like, I want this space and the business and the building or whatever. I want it to be a place where people like realize, like, all you gotta do is just make one decision, like one choice, like one step. Not to be cliche or like kind of corny, but like literally, you're one step away from a different life, and it's your choice.
Yeah,
And that's what my building, and hopefully, um, gets put out to people, is that I didn't have all the answers. I just kind of took that step of faith and was
yeah,
like, all right, God's got me.
yeah,
I believe in myself too. And I'm going to go give this thing a ride and see what happens.
right.
And when you surround yourself with people like that, like you,
Hmm.
going out of your comfort zone to do a podcast,
Hmm.
it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah,
Saying, hey, man, you want to come on the podcast? You could get told no 10 times, but
yeah,
the 11th time you ask, you could get someone on that you probably would have never spoken to.
sure.
But you took the leap of faith because
Yeah,
you want to use it as a platform to, spread positivity and just have cool
yeah.
conversations. So kudos to you for that too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I've talked to now like doctors and stuff, and people it's just like, dude, a couple of years ago, like these people would not be.
Yeah.
And not that all the guests I've had. The fact that I've had 40 something people that just like were said yes to come over and to talk to me like that. That in itself is cool to think about. No
Exactly.
matter what, at the end of the day, it's like there's people that are like down to come hang out and like talk to you. That
Yeah.
means something.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, I appreciate you for coming over and hanging out with me today and
Yeah, man.
having this conversation, dude. I can't wait
Yeah.
for the gym to open up, dude. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
took a
gonna go
picture
over
of the
well.
empty. I took a picture of the empty space today that I'll probably throw out tonight or tomorrow just to see the inside. But uh, I'm getting the inside painted different, so it's gonna look totally different.
Yeah,
But I'm excited to share the before and afters of everything.
yeah. I think it's gonna go over well, dude. I think, like I said, I think it's more people are trending in this kind of style of training. They're kind of, I think, it maybe not even maybe not even trending more in that style of training. I think people are just wanting more
Yeah.
out of things in life. I think people are kind of waking up. People are starting to say, hold on a second, maybe I've just been letting life pass me by. Um, like you said, like we've kind of talked about, it's time to, take the reins over for ourselves. I think people are wanting more, which I think in return is gravitating towards the kind of style of training that we've been talking
Yeah.
about.
And just fitness too. Like, you don't
Yeah.
realize like how much, like, for marathons example, like, dude, the things I learned in marathon training, like, honestly applied to so many things in life, of just being consistent, being
Hmm.
disciplined. Like, you may not feel like it, but if you want to run this marathon at this time, you better get it done.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how you feel. And I think that everyone's kind of starting to get into that, where it's like, if you can push yourself in fitness and do hard things,
Hmm.
job interview, whatever it may be, like, you're not going to be as scared. You're going to be ready to go because you can do it.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else in the world that like can get you like that mentally besides like working out, right? It's,
It's really just you pushing your mental limits, right?
yeah, and it's like there's not really a lot of other. I don't, or at least, I mean, there probably are other ways, but I don't think there's any that's as compelling and as proved to kind of work as well as like physically exerting yourself.
Yeah. You
Um,
go to an employer, if you're in shape or, whatever, you just look the part, or they know about things you do or whatever. They know that discipline and consistency comes with
mhm.
that, because fitness, there's there's no lie test. Like, okay, there's steroids and stuff, sure, but 85-90% of the time, like, your body is kind of what you put into it.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Well, oh man, I lost my train of thought for a second. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I had a good point there for a second, or just a thought that had come to mind from a video that I had watched.
Was it about fitness and life, or?
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember what you just said. It came to my mind. It'll probably come back in just a second. But yeah, what were we talking about? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, I was saying that, fitness is kind of like a testimony to other things in life.
Oh, I got it. This guy, I watched this video. This guy was talking about he writes down whenever or on his resume, he wrote on there that he's like a marathon runner and something else. But he was like, I think that if you like run marathons or you do ultras or anything like this as hard, he's like, I think you should put it on your resume. And he said that he puts that on his resume, and 2 job interviews that he's had and got called in for, that was the only thing they asked about. Was him like running marathons. They just like, so you run these marathons? They started talking about it, and he's like, that's all they wanted to know about. He said that said enough in the whole job interview.
Yeah.
He's like, that I got the job just because they found out that I run marathons.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just that you're choosing to do hard things. You're choosing to be disciplined. You're choosing to go through the suck to accomplish something you want to accomplish. And if you can do that, yourself in fitness, you can do whatever you want in life too.
Yeah, more than likely the 9 to 5 is not going to be that hard and taxing on you if you can. Yeah. If they find out that you're willing to go run 20-something miles, at a really fast speed. It's like,
and who knows, that maybe that sparks you to actually go find your purpose. Like maybe, you're in a job that you're like, it's okay, but it pays the bills. But you're like, man, I really would like to go do graphic design, or I would like to go to nursing school, or whatever it may be. That fitness stuff of you pushing yourself, you might hit that point where it's like, I know nursing school's hard, but I think I can do it.
Right.
And you might just take the leap of faith and do it.
Yeah. And next thing you know, you find yourself in it, and you're 2 semesters deep, and
do we get one life? Like,
it's almost over.
Let's make the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Well, man, anything else we want to touch up on as far as the gym goes before I get you out of here and I don't want to take up too much more of your Sunday.
No, I think that's it, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah,
it's a cool setup.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this will be first of many.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one before I open, or maybe right after I open, or something. But
yeah, dude, whenever you want to sit down and make one happen, dude, just come on over. I'll do it. No big deal.
That works.
As for you guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys are checking out Hydrate 12 IV Therapy. You can find her page on Facebook and Instagram. Get those IVs scheduled today. I think that's it. Love you guys. Peace.
See ya.
Heck yeah.